Everything Was Awesome is part of Courts and Parts, a podcast network featuring pop culture, TV, movie, and geek podcasts. Check out some of our other shows, like TV Ate My Brain, Let's Chat with Revelin Friends, and Podstalgic at courtsandparts.com.
Awesome. Just tell people they're awesome and mean it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
Did you have an awesome time? Did you drink awesome shooters and listen to awesome music and then just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness?
Awesome. 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 That was awesome. You guys are awesome.
No.
You're awesome. No. You are awesome.
Sir, you are awesome. Seriously.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I am your host, Kevin, and this is a show where we sit down and talk to awesome people about awesome things. This week, we're taking a little bit of a deviation to not necessarily talk to awesome people, and probably not really to talk about awesome things, to be honest. But before we get to that, make sure you follow us on Twitter, at RealAwesomePod. We're also on Facebook.com/RealAwesomePod. You can also find us on, of course, awesomepodcast.com. We're on the Core Temp Arts Podcast Network at coretemparts.com. Make sure you rate and review this show. We always love when you do that. 5 stars helps us get in front of more people's ears, and I guess really get inside of more people's ears, so that more people listening to the show means that we can do cooler, awesome things. And iTunes math, those 5 stars reviews helps a lot. Ratings, reviews, all of it helps on iTunes. We also, cannot get by without your word of mouth recommendations. So just let your friends know, tie them up, let them, force them to listen to this show if you have to. And of course, if you are in the giving spirit, you can always go to patreon.com/thatentertains, and you can support us by alleviating some of the costs that we have hosting this show, and get some stuff early, get some exclusive stuff, and all that kind of fun stuff. Now that we got all that business and housekeeping out of the way, let's get into what this week's episode is going to be about. This week, we're actually going to air our sister podcast, I guess, a podcast. It's not really our sister podcast, but our production company, Cruder Studios, also produces a podcast called Once Upon a Wine, which is a podcast about the television show Once Upon a Time. And we're going to air the first episode for the new season here that just aired a couple days ago. And but before we get to that, I don't get to share my thoughts about Once Upon a Time very often anymore, unless I go on tangents on Spearmint or something like that. And season 7, which is basically a repilot of the Once Upon a Time show, aired, and if we've coined the term repilot. I think repilot is basically Once Upon a Time didn't take any time off. They aired 6th season, went right into a 7th, and what they're doing is basically kind of reshaping the show. They got rid of a lot of people, or a lot of people didn't want to return or didn't choose to extend their contracts into the 7th season. So it gave them an opportunity to rebuild and kind of attack the show from a different angle. And that's what they did. And the driving, the one of the main characters, Henry Mills, is still a main character, just played by a different actor. He's all grown up. He's not a little boy anymore. And we got some other returning characters like Lana Parelli as Regina Mills, and of course we have Robert Carlyle as Rumpel coming back. And Captain Hook, Colin O'Douhan, is coming back. I don't know if I pronounced that last name right. If not, I apologize. He's coming back as Captain Hook. And basically, this could not be any more, here's my thoughts, any more of a literal repilot of this show. It's pretty much the same story that we got in season 1, episode 1, except swap out Jennifer Morrison for August here, and we have the story of Henry Mills no longer believing and no longer he's under a curse now, and it's I don't know, it's all very silly if you ask me. I don't know, the show here's the thing. I feel like when you're a show or doing anything creative, and I mean, who am I to talk? Because I'm not the most talented guy out there in the world. But something like this is you got to go out on a high note. And season 4 of this show wasn't terrible, and it wasn't great, but I was able to muscle through it. Season 5 was the season that I had enough. I could not handle the show anymore. It felt like it had gone on too long, and there was a few scenes that the way the season ended that I felt like, hey, these are perfect opportunities to wrap this show up. And season 6 is obviously, it wraps a lot of things in neat little bows and whatnot. And while they're continuing some of those stories into season 7 here, I feel like this is a show that you needed to end. Just end it there. Go out, not exactly on a high note, but go out on a good note. The fans that are still watching are passionate fans, super passionate fans. And you could have, I think, you could have ended the show on a positive note for the fans, I think. I'm still going to watch it because I'm a completist. I need to, but that's my own little warped mind. I honestly see a world where this show might even get canceled part of the way through season 7 here. It's just not what it hasn't been the show that I fell in love with, 7 years ago now at this point. So that's just my thoughts on Once Upon a Time. You can hear the crew of Once Upon a Wine get into that in the, just on the other end here. So you're not going to hear me at the end of this episode either. I'm going to just let them kind of end it on their notes. And I'll just say that, I'm looking forward to seeing Robert Carlyle and Lana. I'm looking forward to them. They're always amazing actors, and I really do like Colin as well. I think he's a great actor. So whereas I'm not really looking forward to the show as much as I'm looking forward to just seeing them act and just do what they do best. Like, I want to see these people in way more other projects, way more blockbuster type projects, or even just like indie projects or something more. They deserve way more than what they're getting here on this show. And hopefully they're being compensated for their time on a show that quite honestly does not deserve their talents, if I'm being honest. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 1 here. Now you can listen to Team West Coast go over their thoughts on the episode right here on awesomepodcast.com. We'll see you next time when we sit down and talk to Steven Vagovics, international musician, international delight, if you will, right here on awesomepodcast.com. We've been awesome!
You're listening to Once Upon a Wine.
Once Upon a Wine is part of That's Entertainment Podcast Network. Check out our other shows, like the Last Capaldi Podcast and the Zomcast on thatentertains.com/network.
This episode of Once Upon a Wine is sponsored by Wink, formerly Club W. Have you ever wanted wine delivered directly to your door? Well, Wink has your back. How does it work? Wink delivers 4 bottles of wine to your door every month. Shipping is free. Yes, that's right, free. Pick your own bottles or let them match to your taste. Wink makes hundreds of wines starting at only $13. Head to onceuponatimespoof.com and click the Wink banner to save $20 off your first order.
Grab your glass of wine as we get ready to tell a story. Once Upon a Wine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Once Upon a Wine.
Wine. Can we harmonize that?
No, we can't. Let's try it again. Okay. Once Upon a Wine.
Yeah, I feel like we nailed that one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely close.
Definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe. All right, everyone. We are back after a summer break. I am, in case you forgot, Aaron Stegeman, and with me is
Ace
Marrero. Great.
I don't want to say my last name.
Yes. We are recording from New York, and Ami is due to call us, but she is half an hour late per usual. So you just get us.
She's stuck on the 405 somewhere.
We have a special guest because he lives with us and happened to be sitting in the living room watching the episode with us.
Special invite.
Yes.
You may know him if you saw our run in LA. He was the other Khal Drogo. He was also on America's Got Talent.
1,000 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jackass.
You are Jackass?
Even longer ago.
Oh my God. We have so much to talk about now. He now plays Robb Stark and maybe even Ned.
Well, let's hope not.
In our run off Broadway of Game of Thrones, the Rock musical. Jeff Bratz. Yay!
You can't hear it, but there are a lot of people cheering right now.
Yeah, they're just being really quiet because it's after hours. So we are on the East Coast now. So Team West Coast is Team East Coast. Kevin, that's our producer guy. I'm not just saying Kevin as a thing. It's an actual person. So.
Good. That wasn't our drinking word?
No, Kevin's not our drinking word. We'll get to that.
Could be. One episode we should have Kevin as a drinking word.
We should. But I do want to get to the drinking soon because it's much needed after that episode.
Absolutely, and we have really delicious alcohol to drink. So
yes.
We are sponsored today. Not really.
We are not. We are drinking Strongbow hard apple cider, and much like this episode being a replica of the original, it is actually orange blossom flavored, not apple flavored. So.
What does that have to do with the episode?
No, I'm just saying this was a recycled of the pilot.
Oh.
So. We're not genuinely drinking apple cider, we're drinking orange blossom cider.
You know what it kind of tastes like?
But it says hard apple cider.
It sort of tastes like an alcoholic version of those orange ices.
Yes.
Only if the icy was like thrown away for a bunch of years and then like dug out of the trash.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. So we need a word to drink to. Jeff, you had a suggestion.
My suggestion was story, which is... It's subtle.
yes, just like the episode.
Yeah. I think I heard it a couple of times, but it was, man, you really got to be smart for this show.
We'll explain where Jeff is coming from here in a sec. But okay, our word of the day is story. So let's just drink to story. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, and I'll go for it, and then I'll. We're sharing one.
We have tech tomorrow morning.
I'm sharing one with myself.
Good.
It's also I just don't want to. It's nasty. You know it's bad if I'm saying it's nasty because it's a sweet drink.
It's sweet, yeah. This is right up your alley. Ace put sweet tarts in wine once and drank that.
No, they were not sweet tarts. They were
gummy worms.
I've also fallen asleep while we've been recording this and numerous other things. So.
You do weird.
Yes.
So Jeff, let's talk a little bit about, because I just found out 2 nights ago that you were on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
When?
It's a bit of a misnomer, really.
So it was 2000?
Oh, 2007-ish. It was the second season of America's Got Talent, whenever that was. David Hasselhoff went through his amazing cheeseburger incident in the middle of our airing season, which was fun to watch.
If you guys don't know that, YouTube that now.
Yeah.
And you made it to the top
16.
Top 16.
I mean, technically, it was really like the top 20. We were just the second of the group of 5 to get released. So I like to think of it as the top 16.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. And you were with your band, or it's a a cappella rock group that actually inspired Pitch Perfect, the movie.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Making up shit.
It's a neat idea.
Yes.
The group was called The Fault Line, and we got a mention on the first 2 pages of the epilogue of the book Pitch Perfect, written by the then editor of GQ, that inspired the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are you still with the band? Are you still doing anything with the band?
I'm not. We parted ways back in 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. They continued on for a while, and then they turned into they renamed it as the Aftershock, which I imagine
The Fault Line to the Aftershock
was
awesome.
Play on words. And yeah, I don't know if they still gig. I know that it's certainly not the same band if it is still gigging.
But you are in another band called Radium.
Yes, not a cappella.
Yeah.
Very rock.
Yeah, and you guys just took you did Battle of the Bands and went pretty far.
Yeah, we took first place in the first 2 rounds and beat out, actually, both of the bands that then beat us in the 3rd round, which was odd.
Yeah, it seems...
Yeah, we didn't place at all, actually, in the 3rd round somehow.
Yeah. Well, Jeff has an awesome voice, and you should check out Radium and their music if you can.
Radiumtheband.com.
Radiumtheband.com.
Yeah, as it turns out, an Element already has the...
Radium. I love it. That's awesome. Jeff. Now, okay, for our listeners at home, Jeff is a fair weather Once Upon a Time fan, or actually just no weather. Not even. You saw a few episodes.
I accidentally happened to see a couple of episodes early on. I was dating somebody who really liked the show, and so I would just happen to be there occasionally, and regretted it every time. Yeah.
Regretted it? No. But you watched this episode with us.
I did. That's because I still had food.
To eat. And we were in the
We're also in a pretty cramped apartment, so there's really only no place to go.
Yeah,
so.
There are 8 people in this apartment. That there are 3 bedrooms and 8 people, so you can do the math on that one.
Yes.
I share a bed with a man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
another man below him.
And another man below him, and then another woman up above him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're rolling deep this Game of Thrones crib.
Thanks, Adele.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So.
So you know enough of.
You know enough.
The show to.
Yeah, I was able
partake.
to see the characters that were represented from the previous incarnation of the show.
Yes.
And figure out who they were.
You were able to spot out Henry pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's a much improved. He's like the next model Henry.
T2.
But luckily, we have another small child to replace a terrible child actor. So that's good.
Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about anything else other than just this episode and just get right into it.
Well, I mean...
Ami just texted. She might be calling soon. I'll just have her call. Okay, just hold on. Just call Ami and we'll get you in.
Here, I'm going to unplug this because this is bugging out, I think, because it's...
No. It's my iPad is shit, so that's why it's bugging out.
Oh.
Yeah, so just charge it, so at least it's charging, even though it's still recording, so we're okay.
Sweet.
Does all of this stay in the podcast?
They get to
hear just your whole internal monologue, huh?
Yep.
Unless we get sometimes.
Kevin will edit some things out, but most of it stays.
We've had to say, okay, edit this part out, Kevin, and what just happened before it. But that's not very often. We usually leave. We leave all the goods in there for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so Ami, just FaceTime. Ami, hold on.
So
let's she's gonna call.
We said word of the day, right? That's
word of the day is story, drink.
Oh, chicken cling clunk.
Shit.
So most of before we watched the episode, it kind of got the temperature of everybody who saw it. Most people liked it. You have the hardcore fans who decided that they just didn't want to watch it anymore because everything was changing so much. And so I was kind of curious what everybody's reaction was, but most people seemed to like it a lot. I know throughout the summer when they were announcing the who's who and kind of what's happening with everything, people were really excited about Regina becoming like a bar owner and being in jeans and having curly hair and all this stuff. And
woohoo!
I know. I couldn't get into any of it. I didn't read any literature over the summer at all about
wearing jeans. That was a selling point?
What's so exciting about that?
Well, because her character's always in pantsuits. Okay, this is Ami. Hold on. All right, FaceTime. Hey, Ami.
Hi. Sorry, I just got off. I apologize.
Okay, hold on. I got to make sure you're loud enough.
Well, I'll tell her.
I mean,
you don't
call
need her on
Ace.
Speaker.
Call
Just
Ace.
a regular call. It's fine.
Call Ace? Okay,
right?
I'm walking to my car, so it's quieter around me, too.
Great. Call Ace.
Just a call. No FaceTime.
No FaceTime.
All right.
Bye. Yeah, so they get all this. All this
That's
BTS.
great. Your listeners are troopers.
True.
Hey there, whiners. It's Kev. I'm going to, every time I've recorded this little mid-episode break, it's gone on for 5 to 6 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep it down. I want to try to keep it to a couple minutes here for you, because I know you want to just get back to Aaron, Ami, Ace, and Jeff. So let's get right to it. Aaron left me a nice little natural break here in the show to go over a couple changes and a couple things that I want to go over for you guys. New days for Once Upon a Wine, because Once Upon a Time now airs on Fridays. And that we're back now. We're going to be starting with next week's episode. We're going to be releasing on Wednesdays for the general release. And of course, Patreon users, you guys get it a couple days early on Mondays. Wino Wednesdays for the general audience. And I don't know what Aaron wanted to call it for Mondays. So we're going to go with Misto Mondays. My hombres out there that are a fan of Rita's Water Ice, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that's the biggest news that I have to drop. I also want to thank our Patreon users. You guys, I don't have the list in front of me. I just want to say thank you so much. You have supported this show throughout the summer when there was no Once Upon a Time to talk about, and Team West Coast was really busy with their famous Hollywood lifestyles, so they didn't get to record as many episodes as they wanted to. So thank you so much for the continued patronage over the summer. It's going to pay off big time, I think, over the fall and winter here, because I really am glad that we get to hear more Once Upon a Wine from Aaron, Ace, and me, and whoever else they bring on the show with them. Speaking of Patreon, if you're wondering what that is, if you're not a Patreon supporter, that's just one of the 4 ways that you can support this show. Go to onceuponatimespoof.com and click that support button. It takes you to Patreon, patreon.com/dorkanddamemedia, I believe. And you can support for a couple dollars a month, and you get anything from shout outs to early access to things, or exclusive access to things. Patreon was the thing that helped Team West Coast put together the Once Upon a Wine Christmas album last year. So they can't do those cool things without Patreon, and we thank you so much for helping support that. Other ways you can help support this show, these next 2 are free for nothing, guys. If you can just take a minute and go to your iTunes or your Apple Podcast app and leave a 5-star review and rating for this show, that helps. The iTunes Apple math there, it gets us more. The more ratings and reviews, it makes us climb the charts. And if we can climb the charts, that just means more eyes are on this show, which means that we can make better opportunities to do cooler things like live shows, con appearances, and of course, special little projects like that Christmas album. You can always tell your friend, tie a friend down, force them to listen to the show. However you have to cram Once Upon a Wine down their throat, make them do it. They're going to love the show. You know it because you love it. And the newest way you can support this show, I'll keep it short because there was a promo at the head of the episode for Wink, formerly Club W. That's right. They are a sponsor of this podcast now, and it is a great way to support this show. I assume you all drink wine. You're listening to a show called Once Upon a Wine, even though it's not about wine. But I'm just going to assume that you drink it. And it is, if you don't know what Club W, or what they're called now, Wink is a basically a wine of the month club where they send you 4 bottles of wine a month directly to your door. Shipping is always free. And you can either pick your own, or you can take their survey, and it will base what they send you off your tastes. It's a pretty neat service. Wink is pretty awesome, if you ask me. And if you want to save $20 on your first order, head on over to onceuponatimespoof.com and click that Wink banner, and let's all have some glasses of wine to toast off the new season of Once Upon a Time. Let's get back to the crew right here on Once Upon a Time Spoof.com.
And we're back. All right. Okay, we have Ami with us. just say hi, Ami.
Hi. It's nice flight back over to New York.
Life in New York? Is that what you said?
Yeah, live from New York. I'm flying in. It's great.
Oh, yeah. So Ami is coming through from the east, for the West Coast. We got it. All right, Ami, we're hopping right into the episode here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess let's get everyone... let's start with probably... What did you? I don't even know where to start with this episode.
How about we keep it simple? Did you like it?
Yes, it's very simple. Did you like the episode? Ace, I'll start with you.
Oh, don't start with me.
All right, Ami, did you like the episode?
Did I watch it or like it?
Both.
I did, both. And I was pleasantly surprised. Yes.
By what part?
No. Hold up. Hold up. We'll get to you, Jeff. That's Ami's thoughts, okay? Jesus. All right, Ace, your turn.
I don't know. I guess yes or no. 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 No.
Okay. Jeff, your thought.
I liked that the small boy is no longer a part of it. I liked the fight scene.
That was good.
I disliked everything else.
Jesus. Yeah, I wanted to turn the episode off as soon as I could. So that's me, short version.
I felt like I was, like when somebody sends you a video and like, you gotta watch this, this is super funny, and you keep clicking your phone to see how much is left to play out on the video. Like, that's what I felt this whole episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much longer is this thing?
Yeah. So I know, and there was, and a lot of people on social media liked it, and so I'm just curious. I'm curious. What did you like about it?
Well, I liked the fact of how they dealt with this whole situation of not having most of the original cast. I think in that reason it was good. I don't like it as a new thing in the sense that I'd rather have the originals, but it's been 6 years, and if they're going to do this as a spin-off, which it is, it's a spin-off, it's not the remaining chapter, it's a new chapter. I did like how they executed it. It's not my favorite. I'm not saying it's the greatest, but for what you have to work with, I thought it was going to be way worse than it was, to be honest. I was like holding my breath, like biting my knuckles. And I just think it's a new chapter. That's all you can look at it. It's a new chapter spin-off.
That's a good way of looking at it. I guess, yeah, to follow up on that,
That's how I looked at it.
I just don't understand why they even did this.
Yeah.
With that type of an episode.
I agree. From a filmmaking point of view on like TV, it's like, why? Because the fans are there and they want more, but not the same. I don't know.
Yeah, I was also confused because I thought that Jennifer Morrison was going to be in this episode too, and she wasn't. And so I guess she's in maybe like the next one, or I don't know.
They're going to drag that out.
Yeah, they are going to drag that out because they know. I agree with you, Ami, on the, if you're going to wipe out Storybrooke and set it up. Like, I like the setup. Right. You know what? I don't like the setup. I'm going to be real honest. I don't like that Regina's working in a bar. I don't like that, like, you have this... I don't like that it's wrong. I hate the whole thing. I'm trying to, like, sit here and try to find something. And, like, man, I, like, didn't even want to watch the episode. Like, I've just been... And I hate that because, like, I'm trying to, like, stay in it, but, like, man, like, I just didn't even want to watch the episode, and then, like, I wanted it to be over as soon as it was... I mean, it was, like, the best parts were when, like, oh, there's Regina, there's Captain Hook, there's Rumpelstiltskin, but even those were, like, not as exciting. Like, I want Regina in a pantsuit still. Like, I want her to be Regina. Like, I want Captain Hook back. Rumpelstiltskin, he's great, whatever, so it's fine. Like, I like that they set up that they're going to be partners. I think that's interesting, but I have no interest in these other characters whatsoever.
I just think it's interesting since we've watched every single episode of this television show for the past 6 seasons in 6 years. It's like, we know these characters, and they're basically doing the same thing in a new chapter on a different coast. With, Lady Tremaine is the new mayor in town. She's taking over the whole Regina aspect. Where's Ronnie's character, or Regina's character really, going to go with that? She's kind of a sassy with it, but she has way more of a bite that we know of course, than she's, like, showing them this new curse. I don't know what this fucking new curse is, still. Yeah. It's confusing.
The show.
But I mean, like, the new girl, Jacinda, she's kind of the new... Yeah, and she's kind of the Cinderella, but she's
Emma.
New Emma.
Yeah.
But, like, not...
In a way. And Mary Margaret a little bit too at times.
It's just I don't even know what I should care about at this point because it's not clear. They got rid of most of the cast, obviously, which and they repurposed this where it was made to feel like this is gonna be a reboot of some sort, but yet it's all the same shit. It's just not clear as to what this is or why we need to care at this point. I'm like, I just don't understand what it is that we're supposed to pull from this because everything's still the same and different at the same time. Like there's not a clear path.
Like straight up don't like that we switched from a female protagonist to a male protagonist. Like I just like I'm supposed to suddenly like I miss Emma. It's not I don't care about Henry. Like I miss that this is Emma's story and now it's like
well, and it's like also too they were over-explaining everything like this was for new people. Nobody's freaking tuning into this show new. Like, it's all the same people. Like, we know they don't have to sit there and beat over the head like, oh, this person or that person. It's like, we know who you're referring to. We've been watching this for 6 seasons.
Yeah. And the numbers were so low for the viewership. I think it's going to get a mid-season cancel. I honestly do. And I really, really hate that for this show. But I do think it's going to get a mid-season cancel. I call it now.
I think it should have gotten a mid-episode cancel.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the new characters, or a lot of them. What do you think of the new Henry? Mostly it's Victoria. The main ones are Victoria, the Jacinda, and Henry. What do you think of the new ones?
It's hard to pull away and be like, they're great when they're just redoing the characters we've already established in season 1 of pilot 1. It's a new pilot with the same type of characters with different actors in a new course. That's basically what it is. I like the actors so far that I've seen. At least Lady Tremaine. I'm interested, how she could have gone more with Dark Queens at one point. If she's, I think she said something about, she doesn't need magic, but she'll use it. And that was kind of, she just uses fear tactics as a mortal. And it was kind of interesting in that sense. Okay, well, that also, I kept thinking of you, Aaron, when you're talking about, the whole, what's it called? Delusion of reality or whatever. When they have rules of magic, but then they go outside the rules of magic because that's the psychology you call it. That type of thing. I was like, well, it's magic though. Isn't that the whole point? That's powerful and a price, dearie. So, again, those were confusing to me. The characters are interesting, but not interesting enough to where, again, the original series was the original series, and that was a whole new look at it,
Yeah.
I just wonder with...
I like to brought in Alice, Shady Alice. I think she's might be an interesting character.
Yeah, I liked Alice. I just also am I to just, as an audience member, completely forget that I've seen Cinderella and Alice before already, and they're completely different people?
Well, then that comes down to the whole, there's different books from different cultures and countries. That's why which I get, that's true, and that is interesting, but at the same time, there's so many other characters you could play off of except that type, or the same one. There's probably, cultural fairy tales that we could even dive into than using another fairy tale like Cinderella.
Are you, I'm curious, is what you're saying, there's Batman, but there's, the Dark Knight series is a completally different spin on Batman, there's different versions. Is that what you're saying? There's different Cinderellas?
Well, that's what the setup was.
Right. Well, that's what Henry was saying to Regina at the very, very beginning, is that he needs to go find his story. But there's his quote, I think, was, there's an Italian Snow White and a French Snow White. So there's going to be an Italian book, and there's going to be Italian whatever, and that's true because it's different cultures. But there's also different. I'm wondering why they chose Cinderella being so culturally different, because I don't know a Hispanic Cinderella named Jacinda. That's kind of they wanted a diversity and they just chose the
Yes, it was done in a movie Jennifer Lopez called Made in Manhattan.
No. That's actually very true.
I mean, that's basically what she was.
That really was that story. Ace, what did you think of the new cast? Ace and Jeff, I'll let you guys both kind of answer this. What did you think of? I mean, Jeff, you don't really know who's who so much, but what did you think of the new cast? People. Do you have anybody that you liked? Anything?
The last scene with Alice I thought was pretty cool. I like the new, I guess, villain lady. Just she's interesting, but that's only because she's surrounded by not interesting, I think. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I just still found myself just really wanting to know what they're gonna do to communicate what happened to the people we've all been watching for 6 seasons, and I feel like that's all that people are looking for right now in this show. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, you know. And I just feel they're dragging.
There was
this out.
nothing new brought to the table.
No.
Nothing.
Well, except that we now have Captain Hook.
Captain Hook. Yes.
Hook, yes. With his weird, like, gloved hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but even like Hook, like finding out, I did read that he was going to be a cop, and like even that, I was looking forward to having like the essence of Captain Hook back, because they made like Killian Jones so like meek and whatever, you know, in the last couple seasons. I was looking forward to having like that pompous Captain Hook back. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I know. He has there's no
personality.
tone at
There's
all.
no
I can't
tone,
tell
there's
you what
nothing.
his thing is at all.
No, and even Regina, I was like, where's Regina? I mean, she came back a little bit at the end there, but like, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss Regina, and I'm gonna miss her pantsuits, and I'm gonna miss like her being the evil queen. Like,
yeah, you know, helped her twin self, evil queen, half a heart, whatever. She's not the same Regina as she never will be because of that, blah, blah, blah. But I just feel like they need to bring her back as a feisty bitch in this thing, and otherwise it's just not going to fly. Like, especially against Lady Tremaine, like, all of a sudden she's like, no, this is my bar, bitch, get the fuck out. Like, it needs to be a lot more. There needs to be a bar fight or something. Jesus. Like,
I mean, I like I think the Jacinda and Henry character, I thought they had really good chemistry. I liked them when they're on the screen together, but separately, they both were very flat for me.
They also, I thought a lot of the,
I thought a lot of the
writing and the acting
the writing
was
and
terrible.
acting were just so bad, so bad this episode. Like, just flat on the nose. I mean, we talked about story is our drinking word because, cheers, because they said it like every, I don't know, 5 minutes just to make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to bring up something I did like, and I don't remember what.
I have a question though. Don't you think that Captain Hook looks awfully like a certain officer in Bates Motel with that outfit on?
No,
like,
I did not think that, but I will go back and re-look at that.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I was gonna mention something and I just completely forgot. Oh, the one things that I did think were cool about this. Some of the way it was shot and directed was cool. Like they did.
Yeah, I like the cinematography in this one.
Yeah.
I think it kind of reminded me of the first pilot cinematography aspect a little bit too, because it wasn't the same from last season or the season before. Kind of cheap in a sense, you know. Like this was they couldn't fuck that up. This opening scene to this whole new chapter for sure.
Yeah, like I like the way they shot some of the Wonderland stuff, and
that just reminded me of the Doomwalker.
The Doomwalker. I also really liked the fight choreo. That was the one thing all three of us were like, oh, that got souped up. That was cool. Like when Cinderella went to fight, she did like a little sword flip in the beginning, and then so that was cool. Kudos to the fight choreography / director on that one.
Great.
Yeah. I don't really have many more thoughts. I don't even have like predictions because I kind of don't care. I don't know. Let's go to the audience on this and see what people have to say. So Kevin, you can cue that music while I find our like one comment, because I posted this maybe like 30 minutes ago.
Okay, why don't we just call it Once Upon a Question? Asking questions, getting answers. That's like Once Upon a Question.
Like I said, a lot of you guys liked it, so write us and let us know why. Like, argue with us.
What did I
know?
what did I miss?
So here's the comment. Yeah, what did we miss? I mean, everyone was so jazzed for jeans and curly hair on Regina, but I honestly...
Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, great. That lasted.
That's going to be done.
But I think we're forgetting that the fans are so loyal with this show that it'd have to really, really be bad for them to lose attention. Like that, they're at that point. They love Lana. They love these characters, and at least the 3 that are left, the original, they want more of, and they're willing to be loyal to it, you know? So I think that's another reason why a lot of fans really love it, because they're loyal fans. We look at a filmmaking point of view, you know?
Yeah. Well, as a fan, too, I mean, even during, like, season 4 of Once, like, when it got difficult.
I didn't watch that one today.
No. I stopped watching, but, like, there was never a time where I was like, okay, I have to watch this. And I felt that way this time. I'm like, oh, okay, I have to watch this episode now. And I didn't want to. I just didn't want to. Okay, so at Michelle Bavira says, I was actually really surprised by it. Yes, it is very season 1, but I'm interested in Henry and Cinderella's story. Alice is also very shady, and I'm looking forward to some more Golden Hook action and see how that plays out. I agree with that. How'd you get that many characters?
Yeah,
in
that's
this
more than
tweet,
140
Michelle?
characters.
Jesus.
What the hell are you doing over there?
Because they added that. Didn't they add that to
Yeah,
Twitter?
you can now do like 280 or whatever it is.
What?
Yeah, they upgraded.
Twitter, get ready. All right. So I do agree. I do look forward to the Golden Hook stuff. I am curious how that plays out.
What's Golden Hook?
It's Rumpelstiltskin.
I have a question. Do you think there's a theory that Rumpel, or Weaver now, Mr. Weaver, is he's aware of the whole curse, just like he was before?
I thought that's what they showed in that end scene, is that he was like, oh shit, it's this guy who I've
and
been
then
mortal enemy
how much
with.
does Hook know now that he saw that photo of Emma?
Yeah.
Right.
But I got that before they showed that scene. I thought he was clued in too. Like, I don't know, maybe that was just me hoping for some sort of feeling out of this thing. But
hey, I mean, did you see like the preview for next week?
I did, yes.
What is happening? Is Emma in next week? When is she in?
Yeah, so Emma's coming in next week, but my theory is that it's going to be either a flashback with her involved, or because she talks to Henry about being like, do you want to come back? Meaning like, you want to come home? I can't be without you.
Yeah.
But how it was shot though, it looked to me like a very brighter atmosphere, and it reminded me, not as bright, but it reminded me of the same scene that they had with Neil and her in the car.
Oh, in the car, yeah.
Before going to Hades, and the whole, crossing over to different realm aspect of like, someone passing on. So I don't know if that's the case, but I'm trying to think, where the hell is Emma at this point? Like, if she is still alive, is she in different enchanted forest, a different realm, a different book? She got back. Like, I don't know where to go with that. There's so many options, I don't honestly remember a lot from the last episode before this new episode. I just remember the musical. So I'm trying to remember something. I need to rewatch that one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is in next week.
Yeah, I was even kind of disappointed, honestly, with that opening scene between Lana and Jared. Like, I like them both as people.
There was nothing there.
There was nothing there. There was no emotion. There was nothing. And I'm like, this is the last scene you guys are even filming together. Like, and they're so close behind the scenes, and it's like,
right.
I mean, come on. I don't know. I just thought like that was such a wasted opportunity.
it felt like it also felt rushed.
It felt very rushed.
Like they added that late, or it was a pickup or something like that. They felt they needed it, and it was like, let's do this super quick.
Yeah. Well, okay, all right. Well, sorry, viewers, that we're so Debbie Downers here, but I want to keep doing this podcast, and I'm nervous the show's going to get canceled mid-season, and we're just going to be like, oh, okay, all right, now what? So we'll still be here doing this begrudgingly, but
bye, Coastal.
But it'll be fine. Let's actually play, because Jeff, you're our first-time podcast guest, so that means we play 5 questions.
Oh.
All right.
Do I get
All
to
right.
ask questions?
Do who wants to ask questions here? If you want to ask a question, just toss it out. Okay, you get to answer first thought, best thought, which is scary for you, just scary for us as listeners from listening to what you're about to say. So it's 5 questions. They are once upon a time and or Disney related. Okay.
Dokey doke.
All right. So Kevin, cue the music now. Boom.
It's time for everyone's favorite game. 5 or so questions. And now, your hosts, Once Upon a While.
First thought, best thought. Would you be a villain or a hero?
Oh, a villain, I imagine.
Okay. If you could be, what Disney character best personifies you as a person?
Flynn Rider from Tangled.
I love it. Do you have anyone?
If you could, what's the one about killing somebody from the show? Character?
Okay, so hey, so you got to get the questions down when you.
This isn't more entertaining.
Okay, if you had to sacrifice anybody on the show to enact the dark curse, so that you could get anything you wanted, basically, who would?
Is that the old series or the new series now?
Any of them.
Okay.
Who would it be? And yeah, who would it be?
Well, the old series would have been the small boy.
Henry.
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 The new series, I imagine, will be the small girl. Because I don't know where they find these child actors, but they're just talented.
Super talented. Okay, is that 4 questions? Last one. What's your personal Disney theme song?
My personal Disney theme song.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It goes, Jeff Bratz, he's going to Disney.
Oh.
Jeff Bratz, he's so fun. Jeff Bratz, he's going to Disney, and now his Disney song is done.
That's a new spin on that question.
That's definitely a new answer.
I was supposed to give a song that already exists.
No, I like it. I like what you did better. So you should talk to the writers. Oh man, I hope they're listening. Actually, I hope they darn. I feel bad because I feel like I know I can't. The beer's starting to hit, but I feel bad because every podcast I've been like, oh, I just need them to get out into the real world, put these characters in the real fucking world. And
right? They finally
I feel terrible because it sucks. But anyway.
Well, it can't get worse.
That's not.
I'm curious actually if they're gonna create a connection with the real people amongst them because they never had that before. Storybrooke was always closed off, and that what characters are gonna come from that, or if they're gonna be love interests because Hook's supposed to have a new love interest. While he's under the spell.
I think it's Tiana.
Is it Tiana?
I don't know.
They're speculating it might be Tiana, but there's also her prince coming in as well. So
Prince
triangle love affair. I don't know.
We had a couple. We had a friend of ours auditioned for once, not too long ago, right? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's all.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah, interesting tidbit. I mean, what are you up to? What's going on with you?
In life, in general, or right now?
I don't know.
What are you wearing?
Stop.
Black. That's my favorite color. No, I'm actually working a lot with Bullies Keep Out right now. And
you're working with Sean McGuire and Michael Raymond James right now.
Exactly, yeah. And so we're working on some events coming up it's still in the works, but we want to do something for Puerto Rico. We want to do something for Vegas Massacre. We want to also do one with the Burbank convention coming up and the Happy campaign with Michael Coleman as well when he's down here for that. So there's a lot of great events coming up. If you're in the LA area, please keep looking because there's going to be a lot of great things happening for that.
And where can they find out about this?
If you follow Bullies Keep Out on all social media, specifically Facebook, of course, Twitter's the best. We're always on there. And then Instagram, it's Bullies Keep Out LLC. And we're always shouting and providing more info. And we'll keep retweeting our personal pages, too.
Awesome.
As advocates. Yeah.
Cool. And if you are in the New York area...
yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
It's fine. Game of Thrones launches on Tuesday. Which
The
is
rock musical.
Yep, that's scary. So, tomorrow is our first day on the actual set. So, and then we open the next day. So... That's freaky. But you can get tickets to that on Ticketmaster or go to gotthemusical.com. If you have seen the show already, it is quite different from our run at Comic-Con and LA. We have all new things and new people and new situations.
A lot of new choreography.
Yes.
Some we just learned it yesterday.
A fight scene?
Yeah, we have a fight scene. We
should give a little HBO taste.
No.
Can you do your part cold?
No. And if you want to check out our special guest, let me just thank him for being on here. Thank you for being in the living room while we're recording this.
You're welcome. I had nowhere else to be.
But Jeff, where can people follow you?
They can find me on the face, on the twat. They can find me at jeffbratz.com.
What did you just say?
Is that not how you say that? On the Twitter, on the twat?
Oh, the twat. Okay, yes.
Oh my God.
I didn't know you were on Twitter. Okay.
I mean, I'm not. I have it.
Yeah.
But you have a website, right?
Yes, it's jeffbratz.com. Hard to say if it's working. Last time I checked, it was not, which I intend to fix very soon.
And that's spelled BRATZ for those of you.
Yeah. Oh, and we have a new Game of Thrones parody channel. It's just got the musical as the YouTube channel.
Got the Rock
Musical as the YouTube channel. We've been throwing up some vlogs and videos, but we have a bunch more coming.
There's a bunch of video content coming up, even some parody songs.
Lots of parody
that we
songs.
Recorded.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are in Washington Heights.
It sounds
for those
like
of you.
the opening of Once Upon a Time, the Rock Opera right now in the background, guys.
Yeah, no joke. What's crazy is that I was stuck in a subway where it caught on fire earlier, and then as I'm getting out of it, I'm told, "Be careful! There is a passed out man under the stairs right by our building, right by our apartment."
Not by our building. In our building.
Right
outside
by
our door.
Outside our door.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
welcome to New York. Yeah,
but if you're in the New York area, come out.
And where is the show?
It's at the Jerry Orbach Theater off 50th and Broadway.
210 West 50th Street.
Yes.
Right across from Wicked and School of Rock.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
And a really cool pub, right? Isn't that Irish pub next door to it?
Yes, McLean's. So
and
good.
A really cool gentleman's club.
Yes.
And a gentleman's club.
Bare Essentials is right next door.
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed.
Perfect combo.
There's a Dwayne Reed for all of your, generic needs. I think it's time we duck off. But we want to hear what you guys think, about all this. Tell us why we should keep watching. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Love you back. Bye.
Bye.
This has been Once Upon a Wine. We will see you very soon.
This has been a That's Entertainment Podcast Network podcast. Looking for more podcasts about pop culture, TV and film, and other entertainment? Find all our shows on thatentertains.com/network.
Thank you for listening to the Court and Parts Podcast Network. To listen to more Court and Parts shows, visit courtandarts.com.